Hi besties, welcome back to my channel because I like pain. I decided to read Psychotic Obsession by Leigh Rivers. By the way, I've been pronouncing this author's name wrong, and I'm so sorry, Leigh Rivers. I doubt you're seeing my videos, but if you are, I'm so sorry. I'm obsessed with you, but I'm so sorry. It's Leigh Rivers, not Layla Rivers. Sorry. I am so sorry. But you know what? I'm human and I make mistakes. I started off another video trying to get out of Leigh Rivers' universe because it's so heavy. At the same time, nothing compares to her writing and her storylines. And I'm deeply obsessed. The way she evokes emotion from me is unmatched. And I started another video and I'm completely scratching that because I did like a little, I still have it right here. I had little papers with books on it and I chose a random one, which that ended up being Story of My Life by Lucy Score, and I ended up DNFing that. So on my March wrap up, I'll go into depth of why I DNF'd it, but it just wasn't hitting for me. So I picked up Psychotic Obsession this morning and I'm already literally psychotically obsessed with this. And I'm only on chapter 2. Oh, I think because the Edge of Darkness trilogy, from book 1, literally absolutely was down bad for Tobias. And after chapter 1, literally the end of chapter 1, I might be quoting it wrong, so do not come for me, but he said a little thing like, "You can call me Tobias." Ooh. Okay, I'll call you Tobias. Like, this man has me wrapped around his finger. Wrapped. My knees are weak for this man. He is so like hot. And I'm scared because just because we already know the end game for Arya and Tobias because of the Edge of Darkness trilogy is about their son Cade. And we already know what happens with Tobias and Arya's love story in a sense. But to see the nitty gritty of how they met, how they found love, when she fell pregnant, and all of the like crazy that happens, that we know that happens because of the Edge of Darkness trilogy, I am so excited and ready to cry. Ready to cry. I'm ready to be emotionally unwell. And I'm scared to fall in love with Gabrielle because I already know I am, because I love her as a best friend. And if you know, you know what happens to her. So I'm scared. But Leigh Rivers has me by a chokehold. And I'm not mad about it. Maybe a little bit. My mental health is like, girl. And I tried to give myself a mental break from Leigh Rivers, but it was just like, in the back of my mind was like, Hannah, come read me. And I was like, no, we are going to read Story of My Life. And that I got halfway through it and I was like, Psychotic Obsession, Tobias, I waited 2 days for you and I'm not gonna make you wait any longer. It's like I was playing the game with Tobias, you know? I had to make him wait. I had to keep him, I want him chasing after me. In reality, I'm on my hands and he's crawling to him. That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it. I'll update you when I have updates. Be prepared to probably see me cry. But I'm excited, I'm nervous, and I'm just happy to be back in this universe. And I hope she writes more on the other characters as well, because she created such a beautiful found family in this horrific trilogy that I really want to see their storylines as well when all this was happening. So yeah, stay tuned, besties. There we go. I was waiting for it to start recording. Okay, here's a little update because I'm frustrated. I'm only like 15% in, like 60 pages into Psychotic Obsession. So this is, if you haven't watched part 1, 2, and 3 of the Edge of Darkness trilogy, go watch it. because what I'm about to say will make sense. So if you read the Edge of Darkness trilogy and saw my videos, this is about Kate's father and mother and their love story. So this should be taken at least 20 years in the past. And they're talking about emojis and texting, and she just called it Uber. And I'm like, how did that make sense if this book is supposed to take at least 20 years in the past? Like, I literally can't like turn off my brain and just enjoy this book, because I absolutely would die for Tobias in this Edge of Darkness trilogy. The first, Insatiable, Ferocious, and Restitution. Those 3 books, Tobias in all 3, I could not believe he was getting a book. I could not wait to eat it up. And I'm just struggling so hard because it's just like so unrealistic that there's an Uber. Like, I'm trying to think, like, I'm 26. And I think at the end of Restitution, I think they were like 23-ish, I want to say. So I'm trying to think, I'm like, okay, I'm 26. I'm not that much older. My parents, like, I was born in 98. And I Googled it because I was like, when was Uber like launched? When was it like live? Like, when did people start using it? It was in 2009. And I'm like, that would make Cade and Stacy 16 right now. In the first book, Restitution, they were 21 in the present day. So I'm like, unless Restitution, Insatiable, Restitution, and Ferocious all took place in the future, and Kate and Tobias and Arya, his mom and dad, are meeting like present day, this would all make sense. But like, I felt like when I was reading the Edge of Darkness trilogy that was taking place like present day, like right now, because like even like the music they're referencing to was all like very right now vibes, and especially the social media impact of what happened in the Edge of Darkness trilogy was very present day. And I'm just like, I really can't just like shut my brain off and enjoy it. And it's really pissing me off because I was looking so forward to Tobias's story, and just for it not to add up on a timeline and that just give me like the ick, I'm struggling, because I love Tobias's point of view and seeing how his brain works, because we actually know he's an actual psychopath. Like, he's diagnosed a psychopath. And so to see how he is and the similarities and differences between him and Cade is so uncanny. And I wanted to see how Tobias grew up, and like what he thought when he found out he was having kids, and like how he got to all the stuff we knew of what Kate's dad, aka Tobias, did to his mother, Arya. I'm like, I can't wait to read about that in her point of view and his point of view, what was going through his head, what was going through her head. And I'm just like, we can't have that, because I can't enjoy that, because I'm like ranting, because I'm so like, I can't like turn off that logical part of my brain. I'm so irritated at myself because I know it's a me problem, that I'm taking this so literal. And I think I'm taking it so literal because the Edge of Darkness trilogy I love with my whole heart, and just for this to like not make sense timeline wise is really like getting under my skin. So I really hope this doesn't turn into like a DNF video where I can be like, hey, this is me reading Psychotic Obsession. Psych, this is actually me DNFing it because the timeline doesn't match up and my brain won't let me like just shut up and enjoy it. It's like just really making me mad, just because I grew up in the time when Uber was like coming a thing. And so I was like, okay, Kate and Stacy obviously are like around my age. My parents didn't start using Uber until I think I was like in high school maybe. My aunt definitely used it a lot more because she lived in the Bay Area in San Francisco where it all started. But I'm like, you mean she's supposed to be calling a cab She's supposed to be calling a cab. Come on now. You guys are supposed to be like writing emails and love letters and pagers and calling on the phone, because texting was like, you had to pay per text back in the day. Per text. I remember in middle school when my parents got us a phone, my brother got in big trouble because he went over our texting limit. And my parents got charged like a crap ton of money. And they were mad because all he was sending was like smiley faces, like nothing important. But I'm just like, ugh. And I know like in this series they're obviously in different classes than we were. Like I was middle to lower class, and obviously Tobias and Aria, she's a doctor, his stepdad is well off, he's driving a McLaren, like they're high society, so I'm sure their experiences with like phones and technology are different than what I experienced. But like at the same time, there wasn't emojis. Like, I mean, there might have been like in email and stuff like that, but like not in texting, I want to say, because even when I started texting, there was like no emojis. Like on MySpace and Facebook you could, but like in text messages it was like a V and a 3 for heart, and like the parentheses and the 2 dots for a smiley face. I'll probably add them onto the screen so you know what I'm talking about. I hope you know what I'm talking about. But if you can tell, I'm like ranting. I'm triggered. I'm triggered, and I don't like it. I really don't like it because I had such high hopes, and I can literally cry about it because I was looking so forward to Tobias's story. I really enjoy her writing, but the fact that I think she might be used to writing in present time, that like maybe she didn't do enough research into like what was in at that time. I don't know. I don't know how fast she wrote it. I don't know. It's definitely a me problem. That's my rant. There's my rave. I guess we'll see if I pick it up. If I continue, I definitely need to take a break because my blood pressure is probably through the roof because I am so mad. Oh, I could just like scream. Ugh. Anyways, besties, definitely pick it up though. I would definitely start obviously with the Edge of Darkness trilogy. And if you want to read Tobias's, go ahead, it's there, but I'm struggling because the timeline just doesn't make sense for me, and that is so upsetting because I literally DNF'd a story of my life because all I could think about was like, oh my god, Tobias's book is out, and just for me to be like let down. That's sad. That's it. That's the tea. Okay, besties, I am probably officially DNFing Psychotic obsession. I'm sad about it because I wanted to like it so much more than what I did. I think I'm gonna pick up Daisy Haites by Jessa Hastings. I started the series, Magnolia Park series, Magnolia Park universe, whatever you want to say, in last year. I'm on the 3rd book. So might as well just go ahead and jump into that and see my thoughts, my feelings, my reactions. So sorry, this is all over the place. All over the place. But I guess read it. We're going to read until a book sticks. So yeah, come join. Update, I'm so glad I picked up Daisy Haites The Great Undoing. I have all the books. I've had them for a while. I read Magnolia Parks, Daisy Haites, and then Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home, and that was probably like 6 months ago. And I just needed a break because if you read The Long Way Home, you'd probably understand why I needed a break. But something about Daisy Haites, I think it's Julian's in it. It just adds like a bit of thrill to it because her brother is in a gang. I think that's what they call it. He's just in the underworld. And so there's like action to this book. I'm only on page 79 and like already things are getting crazy. So it's not just about like high society like Magnolia Parks is. It has like the element of like crime and stealing and danger, and like Daisy just wants to be normal and not be tied to this, but she's tied to it because she's the only one that her brother truly loves. So it's like she's his weapon for his enemies. So that being said, I'm loving it. I have a couple things tabbed. I'm using dark blue tabs for things I laughed at, like, because we're getting Christian's point of view, Daisy's point of view, and Julian's. And so they were talking about BJ, and Henry goes, he's a model. Like, I can just think, like, being an ass, like, he's a model. Like, I was just dying because all the boys are at like lunch. And then Jonah said, lies the foundation of every healthy relationship, because BJ is dating a new girlfriend. Not dating a new girlfriend, but has a new girlfriend, because this and The Long Way Home, I believe, are like the same timeline. So I thought this was going to pick up where The Long Way Home ended, but it starting the same time as The Long Way Home started, if that makes any sense. So now we're watching Daisy go through all this stuff the same time that Magnolia is in the second book, to Magnolia Park. So basically they're just, I don't think it really matters what order you read it in, just because they are the same exact timeline. So book 1 of Magnolia Park's story and book 1 of Daisy Haites' story is like same timeline, parallel, and then same with book 2. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. I like the way that Jessa is making this like intense, but these characters have like quirks and like funny things to them. So like as soon as you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, she like throws in like a dinner party or a monologue that's just like hilarious. Like, he's a model. BJ's just better than all of us because he's a model. And I just like love it. I love it. I love it. This is like the perfect time. I'm in Arizona, so it's like 76 degrees. And I think I read Magnolia Parks around like this season last year. So it might have been a year since I've picked up. I think it is. So I think I just associate Magnolia Parks universe with like springtime. And so I think this is what I needed. This is what I needed. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what happens. Daisy really just said, you think I'm a criminal? Like, bet. The way she just like put this character into place, I was just like, the way Christian went along with it, I'm like, go off, king, go off. But also queen, slay. That was like such a badass scene, and I'm obsessed with it. And then also the chapter after that from Christian's POV, where he gets caught in the hallway by Magnolia, and they're having like this like screaming, whispering battle, calling each other idiot, and she's like, no, you're an idiot, and he's like, no, you're an idiot. And I'm like, I'm dying laughing at them because I can just like picture it, because he keeps saying like after the 45th time of her slapping me, like I can just picture her like slapping his chest like, no, you're an idiot, you're an idiot, you're an idiot. Oh my god, you really did that? Like, because she like, you know, clicked 2 and 2 of what happened, and she was like, oh my god, you need to tell her, like, you're stupid. And she like called him a 9-year-old, and he's like, what 9-year-olds are you hanging out with? And she's like, no one, you idiot. And then he's like, I'm not an idiot, you're an idiot. And it's just like, I love it. I love that dynamic between every single freaking character. I'm eating it up. This is probably gonna be a 5-star. I'm literally loving it. But it's time. Let's see. Actually, I have 2 minutes left on my daughter's chicken nuggets, so I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna read until that timer's up, and then update you guys when I have an update, but just know I'm eating it up. I love this universe that Jessa made for us, and it's just so fun. I wouldn't say it's just lighthearted. It's just so fun. It's just really fun. Because don't get me wrong, the last book I freaking bawled like a baby. So I'm just enjoying this because she just has a way with words. She's so lyrical and I love it. But at the same time, she has these characters so well rounded and so relatable. Like them just fighting in the hallway is like so what best friends do. It's just like you can just picture it so well. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, besties, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna start reading. So, TTYL. Okay, besties, it's been a few days since you saw me. We're just going to ignore that. And here's your update. I'm about, I want to say like 80% done of Daisy Haites, The Great Undoing, and I'm loving every second of it. I laughed, I about cried. I'm enjoying every single character in this book. And where I'm at, I'm gonna give you a little snippet because I had me giggling. So Julian's in a gang. If you read Magnolia Parks and Daisy Haites, you know this. And he's having a meeting with all like the gang lords closest to him, or he's in alliances with, I don't know, whatever. He's in a meeting. Magnolia comes downstairs and is like, oh hey, and they're like trying to tell her to like leave. Like she knows he's in a gang, but not like how severe it is. And he's like, whatever, she can think that. But as y'all know, Magnolia is very into like fashion and clothes, and so she like comes downstairs and is just like ranking these guys on who's dressed the best, who's dressed the worst, and then calls this guy out and was like, you're from Scotland, aren't you? Because you're wearing like skinny jeans. You should wear like slim straight. And now she's going shopping for him, and she was like whipped out her measuring tape and is like measuring him, and they're all like, this guy is so dangerous. And here's sweet Magnolia just like measuring him and is like, oh my god, let's go shopping. And they're in the middle of this like big important meeting, and she's like, you know what, I'll just go shopping for you. And then as soon as like she left, like all the guys busted up laughing, and I just like loved it so much because she had no clue of like how like serious and dangerous those men were, and she's just like measuring them, ranking them. Like it was just so hilarious, and I loved every second of it. But I can tell things are about to go down, and I'm a little nervous because where Magnolia's book ended, I'm scared to see it from Julian's point of view, because now it's making sense of what happened in Magnolia's book with what's going on with Julian. So I'm like, ooh, I don't want to give any spoilers, but it's all making sense. It's all making sense. That's all you need to know. So stay tuned. My next update might be an update or might be me done. So we'll see. Okay, besties, till next clip. So this book is called Daisy Haites, The Great Undoing. I think the only thing that is undoing is me. I'm unwell with the last chapter I just read. I put it down because I need to go to bed. I need to feed my sourdough and go to bed. You can't see it. This is just an empty jar. Waiting for me to feed it. But oh, my heart hurts for one of the characters. I just want a happy ending, and I know this character isn't going to get a happy ending just because of what happened in Magnolia Parks, the book before this one. The timelines are parallel, so yeah. I was underlining and highlighting like crazy in this book towards the last chapters, because the way Jessa has a way with words, it's just so beautiful how she ties in their career in like a lyrical way. It's you need to read it. It's a must-have. Okay, besties, I finished. 5 stars. The way it took me a second to realize at the end, this won't be a spoiler, it's pretty vague. of why they had to drug Julian. Like, it all made sense, like, after I, like, let it marinate, and I was like, wait. And Jessa just has a way with words, the way she really embodies these characters and make them so distinctly different, and like showcases those, like, those personalities is truly amazing. As you can tell, I tapped some bit, I highlighted some things. So good. Please go pick up this series if you're thinking about starting a different series. So good. So this reading vlog is completely a hot mess. I started off with Psychotic Obsession, DNF that, picked up Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, which I'm so glad I did, because I'll never be able to read this for the first time again. Makes me sad. But that's a wrap. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and if you want to see my face anywhere else on social media, I'll leave my usernames in the description below. And please comment if you read either Psychotic Obsession or Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, what you liked and disliked in your readings. Until next time, besties.